Hey folks, this is Damien from Southpaw Designs, and today we're going to take a look at the Genmitsu 4040 Pro CNC router. And my channel's actually grown quite a bit, and so now I'm getting to the point where folks are starting to contact me and asking me if I'd like to review stuff. I turned down several of them, especially ones that don't really have anything to do with the channel, but I thought this would be a cool thing to really check out because many of you guys that come to my channel do so specifically about woodworking, but more specifically CNC. So I thought this would be a cool thing to check out. This is an entry-level CNC router that has a 15 by 7 by 15.7 by 15.7 inch cutting area. So it's smaller than my Onefinity. It's also probably not going to be as heavy duty as a Onefinity, so I don't want to compare it to that. But let's take a look at this. Now, before we go any further, I do want to let you know that obviously this is I guess you'd call it a sponsored video. They did send this to me for free. They're not paying me anything, but there is an affiliate link down below. If you're interested, check it out. But as I tell anybody who wants to send me anything, that I will not give you a positive review just because you're sending me stuff. If you want me to review it, I'll review it. And they didn't ask me to, so I'm going to give my honest thoughts about this. Overall, I really like it, but there are a couple of things that are a little bit of an inconvenience or things that I don't like. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about it. Like I said, it is 15.7 by 15.7 inches. It came packaged very neatly, very well packaged, very well organized. Even came with an actual physical instruction manual, which you don't see that a lot anymore. And so that was kind of nice. The instructions to assemble it were very detailed, very easy to follow, and very simple. Took me about a half an hour to put it together. They advertise on their website 15 minutes, but realistically, I think that's I think a half an hour to 45 minutes is more realistic. Okay, next. So let's talk about how it's actually assembled. Number one, it does have a lead screw system instead of being belt driven. So I'm no expert on that type of thing, but from what I understand, a lead screw or a ball screw is more reliable, more durable than using tracks. Or tracks or belts. So there is that. In terms of how durable it is, it's a fairly solid, heavy CNC router. For something as small as this, I expected it to be a little, more lightweight, but it does seem to be very well created, very well put together. It does have, it is all aluminum. Um, and it just seems to be a very solid machine. I've tested it out, I've used it a few times, and it does a pretty good job. Um, Another thing that I do like about it is the fact that it is a complete CNC. When you assemble it, plug it in, you're ready to go. You don't have to buy anything extra. Now, it doesn't come, the basic system doesn't come with any kind of dust collection. So if you want dust collection, you will have to buy a dust boot and you will have to install that. But it even came with a Z probe, which I'll talk about in just a minute. And it came with three bits. They were 30-degree V bits. So there is that. Looking at it, the jogging action is very easy to use. So I'm very happy with that. It does use a spindle as opposed to having to get a trim router. Like my Onefinity uses a Makita trim router. This one does come with a spindle, and the spindle is actually very quiet. So I was kind of impressed by that. It's not going to be as heavy duty of a CNC as something like a Onefinity or a Shapeco, but it is good for small types of projects. So you can actually also mount this on a table. It does have some screw holes right there. So if you wanted to mount it or create an enclosure for it, you very easily could. Okay, now let's talk about a couple of the things that I don't like. Um, One, and this is really kind of particular to me, I would prefer to have this in my shop, um, but it must be plugged into a computer using their software, which the software actually did come on a jump drive, as well as some sample files, and was very easy to use. I installed it, plugged it in, loaded the files, and they cut very quickly and easily. So I have zero problem with that. My problem is that I would rather this be in my shop and not in here with my computer. I don't have a laptop. I just have a desktop machine. So I can't take it into my shop and just plug a laptop into it. So just be aware that it does have to be plugged directly into a computer. It doesn't have a control box, and it doesn't have a control box and monitor system. And I guess my only other complaints, and these are minor, the spoil board does come in two pieces just because of the way it's boxed. I'd really rather the spoil board just be one piece, but that's not a big deal. That's very minor. I'm being nitpicky right there. And these hold down clamps are a little bit small. I would really like for those to be a little bit bigger, but you can get other clamps to use, or you can use other methods. So the clamps that come with it aren't the best in the world, in my opinion, but again, that's a minor thing. And most CNCs that I've experienced so far anyway, really don't even come with hold down clamps. And the only other problem that I had, the only other thing that I did not like is the Z probe. Now the Z probe itself is fine. And it is only a Z probe, not an XYZ probe. And it's very easy to use, I felt, but it plugs into this control box on the X rail, and it uses this little connector, which once you get it plugged in, it's difficult to get back out. Now, it wouldn't be a big deal. I would just leave it plugged in all the time, except for the fact that the box is on this X rail. Now, so what potentially could happen is, as the X rail is moving forward or back, the Z probe could actually get tangled up in something or cause a problem that way. So I would prefer to see this probe plug not on the rail itself, so it's constantly moving. So I do have to take it out, but it's, like I said, it's difficult to pull out. So that's one thing that I don't like about it. But it's not a deal breaker. It's just, I think it could be done a little bit better. It is compatible with getting a laser. There is a laser accessory that I don't have. I'd be interested in actually getting a laser for it. I think that would be interesting to see. So there you go. There are a lot of things that I do like about this, but there are a couple of things that I don't like. Overall, I think it's a good entry-level CNC. It does seem to be built with quality. The spindle is nice and quiet, and it does do a good job cutting. It's probably maybe a little bit underpowered if you're looking for something professional, so keep that in mind. It is really more of an entry-level CNC. But for somebody who's interested in getting something that's going to be a small project, a hobbyist type of a CNC, this actually really does do a good job. Okay, so feel free to send any questions down below, leave them in the comments. And as always, if you're still here now, I would appreciate a subscription, a like, a comment, a share, turn on those notifications, because those types of interactions with this channel is what tells YouTube that this is valuable content and encourages them to push this, this video and others like it out there. So, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got something out of it. Now let's get out there and make some stuff.